Please be seated. Provost Steele, Vice President Dirks, faculty colleagues, alumni, doctoral master's candidates, and their families and friends. Good afternoon, and welcome to Convocation for PhD and MA candidates in the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences. I thank all of you for coming to celebrate the accomplishments of our PhD and MA candidates. We honor today a superb group that on commencement this coming Wednesday will join the ranks of our many alumni and will embark on professional careers around the world in the great tradition of Columbia University. Equally important, we honor today the families and friends of our candidates who have endured with them the 1 or 2 year sprint leading to the MA and the grueling marathon of the PhD. Thank you for being so supportive. Thank you for being so supportive and above all, so very patient. I would ask, in fact, all MA and PhD candidates to rise and applaud those friends and family members who have helped them be here today. Today, a distinguished faculty member and then 2 superb MA and PhD candidates will address the Assembly in turn. The faculty address will be offered by Professor Shahid Naim. Professor Naim chairs the Department of Ecology, Evolution, and Environmental Biology at Columbia University, where he has taught since 2003. He received a BA in Biology and an MA and PhD in Zoology from the University of California at Berkeley in 1979, 84, and 88, respectively. At Berkeley, Professor Naim won a Teaching Assistant Award in 1984 while instructing undergraduates in cell biology, ecology, zoology, and the biology of humans in the tropics. Professor Naim has written and co-authored numerous articles and books. He has lectured throughout the US, Asia, and Europe, has served on several National Science Foundation panels on ecology, and has won multi-year grants from several sources, including the National Science Foundation and the McKnight Land Grant Foundation. Professor Naim.
Hey, well, thank you all. I have to confess that scientists don't usually read papers. We talk about papers, but we've never actually written a speech. But I was told I had to write a speech, and my spouse says I look down too much. I want to apologize ahead of time if I look down too much at my speech, because I don't want to deviate too much. But for the last 3 years, I've had the wonderful opportunity to welcome the incoming Columbia College students at the beginning of the academic year. I usually provide some sort of thoughts about the nature of inquiry, and I illustrate it with the photos I've taken of animals while I've done my research in the summer in Africa and Asia and elsewhere around the globe. I can't do that here today. I'd love to show you some pictures of animals. Always a crowd pleaser. So it's a tremendous honor for me to get an opportunity at the end of the academic year to congratulate all of you, our departing MA and PhD students, your families, friends, loved ones, fellow students, faculty and staff, and administrators on the stage and out there. And those who couldn't come, who made it possible for you to achieve the well-nigh impossible task of receiving a graduate degree at Columbia University, one of the most competitive universities in the world. But what does one say to a parting class from so many departments? Go forth and do good works, live long and prosper, repent, the end is near. Buy low, sell high, for those of you in the business. My father-in-law is a professor emeritus at Lawrence University in Wisconsin. He was visiting, and I posed this problem to him. I asked in his long experience, who did he find was most inspirational in the many speeches he had seen at convocation and commencement? And he recommended looking up the speech of the historian Edmund S. Morgan. So I looked up his speech, and basically, this captures his charge. He says, "My charge to you is to get lucky as fast as you can and be good at something, it doesn't matter what." I thought, well, get lucky. I didn't think that was really good advice. It seems like something you don't actually have much control over, or do you? So I decided to look at what other people said, other influential people. Here's what Arnold Schwarzenegger said to the University of Southern California. "Trust yourself, break the rules, don't be afraid to fall, don't listen to your naysayers, work your butt off, and give something back." I think he added the last part because he was still married to Shriver. Marissa Myers, who's the VP of Google, addressed the Illinois Institute of Technology and said, "Find something that you're really passionate about. Find the smartest people you can surround yourself with. Find allies rather than adorers. Find the courage to do things you are not ready to do. Find places where you're comfortable and be an information fountain," which I guess is what Google sort of is. David Foster Wallace, one of America's most brilliant writers, his commencement speech at Kenyon College was a little bit more complex. He said, "It's about simple awareness, awareness of what is so real and essential, so hidden in plain sight all around us, that we have to keep reminding ourselves over and over, this is water. This is water." Now, you may wonder what the water refers to. The beginning of his speech starts out with a story about an old fish passing by two younger fish in the water. And he says, "Hey, how's the water today?" And the younger fish turns to his companion and says, "What the hell is water?" And I think that's what he was referring to. Steve Jobs said to the graduating class at Stanford, "Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition." I'm going to end with one more. There are lots of these different speeches. You can find them if you're looking for them. By Ellen DeGeneres, a well-known comedian. She said, "Life is like one big Mardi Gras, but instead of showing your boobs, show people your brain. And if they like what they see, you'll have more beads than you know what to do with." I didn't know if I could use the word boobs, but I figured if they could use it at Tulane, we could use it here. I imagine that you're sitting here feeling like, I've heard all of this advice before from parents, from friends, from family, from your fellow students. Maybe you've even thought about it yourself. And you might ask, like, is that it? Is that what these authority figures have to say as you finish this these grueling years at a university to get your graduate degrees? And it's mostly about success, how you're going to achieve success once you leave here, although I think graduating actually is a great measure of success. By what authority do I have to speak about success? I'm the son of parents from Trinidad in India who grew up in the slums of New York. And now I'm the chair of an Ivy League. Is that success? I've had my days when I wondered if that's the best measure. What is success, and is it desirable? Is success being a politician, an actor, computer capitalist, best-selling author, famous comedian? Is it about money, fame, and power? What about being just the best parent ever? Or the best lover ever? Are these not measures of success? I don't know if you got any training about that from your degrees. Rather than talking about how to be successful, I thought I'd try to share with you on this momentous occasion what Columbia has provided, I think, to you that will allow you to be successful in any endeavor that you decide to pursue from now on afterwards. What is the core of a Columbia education and training? What is it that you now leave with that few others have? My realization of what we all have been trained has to do with the turd of a hyena. Now, it might take a little explanation. So my good colleague Pedro Sanchez, who's a winner of the World Food Prize and a MacArthur Genius Award winner, he and I were walking in Masai Mara in Kenya, and we stumbled across a hyena turd, and he picked it up in his hand, and he started cutting it with his knife, and he noticed the creamy white inside of a hyena turd. And then we shouldn't be so surprised about that as biologists, because we knew that hyenas are bone crushers. And as bone crushers, they have a lot of white bone that they've ground up that's inside their guts and then hence in their turds. But what Pedro volunteered was that This explains why there are no hyenas in South America. There never have been hyenas in South America. They've been in North America, Europe, and Africa, although they're extinct in those places. They're just in Africa now. And he said that's because the soils of South America have so little calcium, the vegetation has little calcium, and therefore the vegetation can't support large animals that have big bones that need a lot of calcium. And so from that observation of a turd of a hyena, he then told a story of millions of years of evolution spanning 2 continents, all from looking at a turd. My own life is dedicated to looking at species, as I said. I tend to take lots of pictures of them to share with my audience when I get to speak. But when I zoom in with my camera on a beautiful animal, it isn't just the image that's etched in my mind or in the memory of my camera. It's the animal's physiology, its morphology, its ecology, its evolution, its cultural value, its aesthetic value, its intricate role in a trillion-ton machine that shields us from the vacuum, radiation, and meteoritic impacts from the universe. I also see the threats to extinction that humanity thoughtlessly allows for our 30 million species to endure. They are our friends and allies in a highly dynamic, unpredictable environment that can either allow us to prosper, as it has for several thousand years, or suddenly turn and destroy us, as climate change is threatening to do. We live on a biologically rich planet in the middle of thousands of light years of lifeless space and dead planets. And these are all the thoughts I see when I see an animal or a plant or a microorganism under a microscope. I think John David Dingell, member of Congress, representative from Michigan, champion of conservation and environmental protection, said it best. He said, living wild species are like a library of books still unread. Our heedless destruction of them is akin to burning the library without ever having read its books. I would venture that most wildlife photographers, who are more talented than I are, see no more than the pleasing image. But those of you who have been through our department or have had classes in biology or zoology or have thought more about our living world than most others would see much more when you see a plant or an animal or a microorganism, even if it's just a pigeon or a squirrel. My main message is never underestimate the power of any observation to unfurl and illuminate the most complex intricacies of our existence. Whether it is to understand friendship, love of those here today, the latest advances in superstring theory that help us understand the elegance of the cosmos, or advances in biology and medicine that will let us to understand the emperor of all maladies, cancer. You have acquired the power to take anything that comes your way and probe and understand all that it can tell you. But this brings me back to Morden's edict, get lucky. Professor Richard Weissman at the University of Hertfordshire has studied what makes people lucky or unlucky. What he does is he studies people who self-identify themselves as lucky or unlucky, and he observes their behavior. One of the experiments he did was he gave them each a newspaper, and he had them count the photographs in the newspaper. But he also placed an ad in the paper that they didn't know about. It said, tell the experimenter you've seen this, and you will get 250 British pounds sterling, right? And the only people who saw that were the people who self-identified as lucky. The people who self-identified as unlucky never saw the ad. And that shows you actually luck is something that perhaps you can actually prepare for. And what it involves is seeing beyond the mundane task before you or the observation that seems at first to be fairly simple, but upon further exploration will unfurl. So Morden's edict is actually perhaps much more rich and not the simplistic, useless bit of advice I thought it was initially. In an email to me, Harold Waltz wrote, learning seems so much about peeling off, peering through, placing down the palimpsest layers of life. It's addictive, the curiosity, the revelations, the expansions, and the humblings. Okay. So you might say, who is Harold Waltz? You've heard of Schwarzenegger and Ellen DeGeneres. Well, he's a graduate student, like you, in our department. And when I get emails like that from our graduate students, I realize you really have been empowered by your training here at Columbia. Success is the epiphenomenon of extraordinary thought, but extraordinary thought is the result of unbridled exploration of all that we observe. You are now and forever Columbians. We will miss you, we love you, we know you'll always be there, but still, it's really sad to see you go. But we are at least cheered by knowing that you are now unbridled explorers of the world and the world's most extraordinary thinkers. Congratulations to you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Naim. The MA candidate's remarks will be offered by Donald Johnson Montenegro in the Department of Modern Art, Critical and Curatorial Studies. Mr. Johnson Montenegro was born in Quito, Ecuador. He received a BA cum laude in English from Cornell University in 2004. Mr. Johnson Montenegro worked as an administrator in the North and South American regional offices at Sotheby's for 2 years. Over the summer, he conducted research for the Museu d'Art Contemporani de Barcelona on artist-run initiatives and space. He has written 2 journal articles and curated and co-curated 2 exhibits. The first opened in April at Columbia's Wallach Gallery, entitled Common Love, Aesthetics of Becoming, with artworks by Columbia's MFA alumni. The second opened last October in Miami, entitled The Every Other Day. It considered the issue of quotidian materials in current sculptural practices and was part of his Columbia MA thesis. Recently, Mr. Johnson Montenegro was appointed as Associate Director of Muhlenstein, a contemporary art gallery in New York's Chelsea neighborhood. His master's thesis was directed by Professor Kaira Cabañas. Mr. Johnson Montenegro.
Hi. Provost Steele, Vice President Dirks, Dean Alonso, faculty, colleagues, and honored guests. Thank you for the opportunity to address my fellow graduates today. Those of us working in the field of contemporary art have a reputation as tireless self-promoters. I'm going to take this opportunity to reinforce that stereotype. For the past year, my classmates Alexander Benenson, Kristen Chapa, Tomoko Kanemitsu, and I have collaborated on curating an exhibition with help from fellow students Rebecca Siegel and Jenny Borland, and the guidance of MODA director, my friend and mentor, Kaira Cabañas. Featuring the work of Columbia MFA alumni from the Visual Arts program, the exhibition is titled Common Love, Aesthetics of Becoming, and opened last month at the Wallach Art Gallery here at Columbia University. As noted in the introductory text for the show, Common Love focuses on love in order to describe its transformative possibilities for art and life. The exhibition draws its inspiration from political philosophers Michael Hart and Antonio Negri's 2009 book, Commonwealth. In this work, the authors propose that the common infuses all spheres of life. They refer not only to the Earth's air, water, plant, and animal life, but also to the factors that make up human society, from languages and habits to affects and codes. Hart and Negri situate the common within the processes of globalization and the rise of new technologies, which have vastly increased the potential for mutual knowledge and experience. Rather than focus on the wealth of the common love turns to the author's conception of love. Here, love sheds its conventional associations, such as those of romantic and patriotic love. Love is instead harnessed for its power to redirect experience away from the self and towards encounters with difference, so as to transform ourselves, to become other. The artists included in Common Love target the obstacles to an expanded conception of love. Without its conventional packaging, love challenges us to alter our ways of viewing art and of participating in the production of our shared world. Love is a loaded word. It seems there is no term more charged and more misused, co-opted as it has been in the name of advertising, entertainment, exclusion, and even war. In Commonwealth, Hart and Negri introduced their conception of love with the following phrase, borrowed from the work of Deleuze and Guattari. Let your loves be like the wasp and the orchid. The interaction between these two species exemplifies love and serves as a potent metaphor for the production of alternative forms of subjectivity and community. The wasps and orchids are not paragons of virtue in their mutual aid, nor are they models of egotistical self-love, but instead represent a love based on the encounter of alterity and also on a process of becoming different. Hart and Negri's conception of love is also derived from Spinoza's, which they describe as a joy that increases our power to think and act, together with the acknowledgement of an external cause. The authors explain, through love, we form a relation to that cause and seek to repeat and expand our joy, forming new, more powerful bodies and minds. For Spinoza, in other words, love is production of the common that constantly aims upwards, seeking to create with ever more power up to engaging in the love of God, that is, the love of nature as a whole, the common in its most expansive figure. Love, then, is the vehicle through which we might access and share in the common. That is, not only the bounty of the earth to which we are each entitled, but the biopolitical power that we generate as a multitude. The expanded and renewed conception of love that my fellow curators and I sought to communicate is informed by thinkers from Paulo Freire to Judith Butler, Theodore Adorno, Ligia Clark, Jean-Luc Nancy, Thomas Jefferson, and Louis Bersani, among many others. In short, love cuts across various discourses, including aesthetics, political philosophy, pedagogy, queer theory, artistic practice, literature, and my own discipline of art history, to name but a few. I speak to you today about an uncorrupted and unconventional understanding of love because I believe it offers an important challenge for our generation of scholars. Love as a process of becoming is enacted at the level of artistic practice, for example, through the movement from one artistic medium or material toward another. Film, for instance, becomes sculptural, just as an artist's deployment of natural and cultural materials can speak to the two realms' dynamic interdependence. I hope this can serve as an example for the way in which we move forward in our respective disciplines, and in which we continue to collaborate with one another, particularly with those who are farthest from ourselves. Let us open ourselves to difference, and through love, work to create new, fruitful, and beneficial forms of community and subjectivity. I invite you to visit Common Love Aesthetics of Becoming. It's on the 8th floor of Schermerhorn Hall, open until 8 p.m. tonight. And I hope that the exhibition's thesis and the individual works on view will engage you in rethinking love and its possibilities for our time. Thank you, and congratulations, class of 2011.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson Montenegro. The PhD candidate's remarks will be offered by Valerie Paley, a doctoral candidate in the Department of History. Ms. Paley defended her dissertation on April 29, and it is titled Founders and Funders, Institutional Expansion and the Emergence of the American Cultural Capital, 1840 to 1940, under the direction of Professor Kenneth Jackson. Ms. Paley received the BA in English and Psychology from Vassar College in 1983, the Liberal Studies MA in American Studies from Columbia in 2000, and the MPhil in History from Columbia in 2007. She was awarded the Hofstadter Fellowship in History from 2005 to 2008, and the Gilder Lehrman Fellowship at the New York Public Library in 2009. Ms. Paley has worked as an editor at 4 journals, including Revolution, The Atlantic World Reborn, and Nueva York. An experienced curator, Ms. Paley most recently curated exhibits at the New York Historical Society and the Museum of the City of New York. In addition to publishing several articles and interviews of contemporary historians and authors, Ms. Paley has served as a panelist on television and radio. In 2010, she was a panelist on the Discovery Channel for the Before There Was America series. Ms. Paley recently served as a commentator for WFUV about the history of the Brooklyn Bridge. She's currently historian for special projects at the New York Historical Society. Ms. Paley?
Provost Steele, Dean Alonso, members of the faculty, family, friends, and fellow graduates, I am privileged today to represent over 500 graduating doctors of philosophy from 61 academic departments. Our fields of study are as diverse as we are. We come from all over the United States, and a little under half of us are from the rest of the world. We are the authors of dissertations on sometimes unpronounceable topics that range from an examination of the volcano in American and European art, to new approaches to screening for cervical cancer, to Plutarch's deterrent lives, to the dynamics of drops and bubbles in microgeometries, to the significance of attention. 3/4 of us now are between the ages of 28 and 35. 5% of us are those young prodigies under the age of 27. And everyone else is age 36 and older. And I belong to that tiniest age demographic of way older than 36. But what we all have in common is that we have spent the better part of 4, 5, 6, 10, 12, or more of those years studying at this great university in this exceptional city. What brought us here in the first place? For some, today represents the culmination of a completely logical progression from school to college to graduate school. Some of us may have been animated by a passion to change the world, or at least to challenge it with a fresh take on old subjects. Others may have been looking to gain a credential and open up further career opportunities. Hopefully, all of us continue to be enthused by issues that we can never get enough of and are compelled to pursue further. To co-opt a notion we learned in the history department our very first week of classes, we have come, quite simply, in pursuit of a noble dream of scholarship, professional camaraderie, high academic achievement, and the idea of becoming part of a greater historical legacy of scholarly accomplishment. To that end, we toiled for hours in the library, the classroom, the laboratory, and neighborhood watering holes, reading, thinking, and talking about ideas, texts, and intellectual debates. We endured our professors' boring lectures and analyzed their exciting ones, and ourselves experienced, as teaching assistants and as teachers, what it is like to fail or to succeed at engaging an unwilling undergraduate. We waited anxiously outside closed doors for members of our respective cohorts to emerge triumphantly from orals exams and dissertation defenses. We retreated across Amsterdam Avenue to that old bar at Radio Perfecto. Some of us called it the kiss and cry section of campus, like that judgment box where competitive figure skaters sit to await their scores. And we kissed, and we cried, and we laughed. Even as we bolstered one another, we also competed against each other for departmental favor, for jobs, for attention. But through it all, if you look around today at your friends decked out in these flaccid berets that only a PhD can find chic, I think it is safe to say that you are looking at your combat buddies who, for better or for worse, you will never forget. What now? Where will we go from here? Like missionaries, we will be spread far and wide to places quite different from Morningside Heights, as well as to places just down the street. In this day and age, to those who might sneer at our wonky commitment to a life of the mind, as well as to those who might enthusiastically embrace it, we will bring to the classroom, the boardroom, and every room in between that particular brand of intellectual integrity we learned at Columbia. And with any luck, on our best days, we will be a testament to those who cultivated that in us, our professors, who have deeded us an inheritance of academic engagement. Indeed, we have been told, with only some degree of hubris, that we are standing on the shoulders of giants. And now that there is no reason to suck up to that notion, we can honestly say it is true. We have satisfied the highest standards of scholarship and met the demands of those at the pinnacles of their fields. At this level, learning by rote is not an option for success. It was a painful and solitary process. It was hard. Over the past few years, as we watched our friends out of the academy pursue different and sometimes more lucrative paths, perhaps what we were most jealous of was their freedom to go out to dinner on a whim, or to the movies, or just to veg in front of a TV or computer screen, while we isolated ourselves with a dialectic, the literary theory, or the scientific experiment. So now, with some luck, we rejoin the land of the living as doctors. It is a lofty professional award indeed, but also a highly personal one. For even as we enthused over bits of arcane information that can make normal people completely glaze over, and retreated into our respective wind tunnels of reading, writing, and scholarship, our friends, partners, spouses, children, and parents shared that pain and the triumph with us. It was also their sacrifice as they lost us temporarily to the challenges of the Academy. So this is their award too, and we thank them for coming along with us on this magnificent odyssey. It's been an extraordinary few years, but at least for the next week or so, let's get out there and live a little.
Thank you, Ms. Bailey. I now have the pleasure of introducing Ms. Eva Petkova, a PhD student in sociology and the 2010 president of the Graduate Student Advisory Council, GSAC. She will present the Faculty Mentoring Award to Professor Liza Knapp in the Department of Slavic Languages and to Professor Ioannis Milanopoulos in the Department of Art History and Archaeology.
Hi, everyone. Dear Provost Steele, Dean Alonso, faculty, colleagues, families, and friends, I have the honor of presenting this award for a second year, and each time it gets more emotional as I'm nearing the time to rejoice in this great ceremony myself as a graduating PhD. Today, I have the distinct privilege of representing all of us in awarding the Faculty Mentoring Award to a most deserving candidate. The award is given every year by the students to faculty who have gone above and beyond their duty to assist, guide, and nurture their students along the path of learning and personal development. This award recognizes and shows appreciation for faculty members who have provided exceptional support to the graduate students. They truly exemplify excellence in graduate education in their role as advisor, advocate, mentor, and friend. Superior mentoring is a collaborative process. It is mutually beneficial partnership and allows graduate students to develop and hone our skills, knowledge, and experience. If we are lucky enough, we have had our own great mentors along the way that have put us on the path to engage in a legacy of mentoring that continues the cycle so that we someday may become great mentors ourselves. I'm honored to have the pleasure of presenting this year's award for outstanding mentoring to Professor Ioannis Milanopoulos, Assistant Professor in the Department of Art History and Archaeology. His students describe him as once demanding and engaging, are refreshingly straightforward and unpretentious in sharing his breadth of knowledge in art history. Professor Milanopoulos is a true devotee of archaeology, instrumental in establishing a curatorial internship at one of the most prominent museums in the world, at the National Archaeological Museum in Athens, Greece. The Faculty Mentoring Award is our call to instill the highest values of mentoring in the fabric of the GSAS. We present our award to Professor Milanopoulos and acknowledge that it is we, the students, who are the ones who ultimately benefit from his deeds and from his example, and we thank him for that. His devotion to rigorous doctoral training makes a lasting contribution to Columbia University's world-renowned reputation. It is my honor to thank Professor Milanopoulos and recognize him by presenting this Faculty Mentoring Award for outstanding contributions. So I'm honored to have the pleasure of presenting this year's second award for outstanding mentoring to Liza Knapp, Associate Professor in the Department of Slavic Languages. Her students say that her teaching method emerges naturally from her exceptional intelligence as a listener, and that she engages students in conversations about literature in a relaxed, informal setting. Professor Knapp inspires passionate discussions among the students on, for example, Tolstoy's views on history, death, and love. She also lets her students to follow their instincts independently, to see where they lead before giving her input. It is my honor to thank Professor Knapp and recognize her by presenting this Faculty Mentoring Award for her outstanding contributions. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Petkova, and congratulations to Professors Knapp and Milanopoulos. Provost Claude Steele will now present the Presidential Awards for Outstanding Teaching to 3 current PhD student teaching assistants. The students who will receive today's Presidential Teaching Awards were selected from many nominations by a committee that included both faculty and graduate students. Provost Steele, would you please come forward? There are 3 PhD students who are receiving the award today. Jae Woo Lee in the Department of Computer Science. Catherine Allen in the Department of Earth and Environmental Sciences. And Tyler Bickford in the Department of Music. Jae Woo Lee, from the very beginning of your career at our university, your teaching has earned you the highest accolades from the students and faculty in computer science. You reconceived the department's advanced programming course, a technically demanding and notoriously difficult part of its course requirements, to give it a structure and coherence that teaches students the essential tools of software design and rewards them with the satisfaction of having developed a fully functional web server. Your professors have paid you the ultimate compliment of adopting your course, design, and co-authoring an article with you that has spread its fame and use across the country. Yet, their admiration pales next to the remarkable praise of your students who consistently recognize in you a unique, exciting educator who has exercised a decisive influence over their professional development. It is with gratitude that we recognize your contributions to their education with the 2011 Presidential Award for Outstanding Teaching by a Graduate Student. Catherine Ann Allen, your professors see in you a talented young scientist who will make an important contribution to paleoceanography. You have proven yourself a superb communicator with an intellectual curiosity, enthusiasm, and high energy that inspires students and with a capacity to help them master difficult scientific concepts, no matter whether they are advanced students of earth science or newcomers to the field. While maintaining your own energetic program of research and volunteering for more sections of teaching than your department requires, you also find time to work with middle and high school students, introducing them to the elegance of science and exciting them to explore its labyrinths. Your students respond to your guidance with dithyrambic teaching evaluations, and your department has given you its own teaching award. Today, we add to their ranks with the 2011 Presidential Teaching Awards for Outstanding Teaching by a Graduate Student. Tyler Bickford. It is the rare graduate student who devotes as much effort to teaching as to research, and rarer still to see the two so fundamentally informing each other with the excellence you have displayed. Through your studies, your writing, and your work in rural schools in New England, You have shown the makings of a remarkable scholar of ethnomusicology and of an influential advocate for the welfare of children. You have brought the same tireless energy, passion, and talent for critical thinking to teaching as one of our ablest instructors in the core curriculum. Combining the intelligence and knowledge of the polymath with a commitment to turning the classroom into a space for intellectual exploration and growth, you create a stimulating environment in which your students learn to think creatively, reason rigorously, and discover lessons that will shape their personal and professional futures. In recognition of the dedication and skill with which you have educated our students, it is a privilege to bestow upon you the 2011 Presidential Award for Outstanding Teaching by a Graduate Student. Ms. Dale Tursa, President of the GSAS Alumni Board, will now speak to you about the Alumni Association of the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences. Ms. Tursa.
Dean Alonso, Provost Steele, Vice President Dirks, distinguished faculty, administrators, alumni, friends, and our most honored participants here this afternoon, our graduates, I thank you for giving me a few minutes to address you. On behalf of the Alumni Association of the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences and its Board of Directors, as well as the nearly 35,000 GSAS alumni worldwide, I offer our graduates hearty congratulations on this momentous occasion and milestone in your career. I also welcome you to the next phase of your relationship with the graduate school and the university, that is, as newly minted automatic members of the GSAS Alumni Association. The GSAS Alumni Association was formed nearly 50 years ago. Its mission is relatively simple, that is to establish, maintain, and nurture a community of alumni, foster and encourage ongoing engagement of alumni with the academic and institutional initiatives of GSAS and the university, support the interests and needs of current GSAS graduate students, and assist the Dean in perpetuating and enhancing the reputation and prestige of GSAS. We have spent the past year reforming our bylaws and structure to be more inclusive of the various cohorts that we strive to work with and serve, and our future is quite bright. In furtherance of our mission, our board and its various committees meet several times a year, and we hold a rather well-attended annual meeting here on campus. In candor, we always have very interesting and provocative speakers, including faculty members, and this year, for the first time, our graduate students. And we also have good food and wine, so it's worthwhile to show up. We try not to take ourselves too seriously, but we're a rather committed bunch of alums who have some fun together, along with our fearless leader, Dean Alonso. We've sponsored various events, including career panels, and we have mentored students and alums. We have also helped publicize and support such graduate school activities as departmental reunions, which is a big favorite, and concerts, as well as one of the Dean's best programs, GSAS Conversations, which include provocative lectures by prominent faculty members and administrators. These are must-see events in my estimation. And of course, we work with and support the activities of the overarching Columbia Alumni Association, of which you are also newly minted members. We host and sponsor activities in locations outside New York, including Washington, D.C., and we've even had a meeting at the Biosphere in Oracle, Arizona, and I, along with other board members, have met with GSAS alums all over the world, in London, Geneva, Beijing, and most recently for me, Hong Kong. How do we keep in touch? Through various ways, including mailings, the GSAS alumni newsletter, which is being reconstituted as we speak, and also we have a website, a GSAS alumni website, www.columbia.edu/cu/GSAS alumni. But our success depends in part on you, our newly minted fellow alums. First, we need to know how to be in touch with you. So your address, particularly email, is important. and we want to hear from you. We want you to contribute to the newsletter. If not articles, feel free to share announcements of publications and professional achievements. Give us your ideas on how we can further our mission. In short, get involved, because we want you involved. And if you don't heed my advice about getting involved and you become a rather sleepy alum, okay, here's a voluntary disclosure from a lawyer. I was a sleepy alum for nearly 20 years. And then someday, someone will come knocking on your door, as they did mine, and let you know how much you've been missing at your #1 alma mater. You may find yourself as the next president of the GSAS Alumni Association, giving a very hearty welcome at the MA and PhD convocation. Congratulations. Thank you. We look forward to staying in touch.
Thank you, Ms. Sturza. Now I would like to present the Dean's Award for Distinguished Achievement by a Master's alumnus of the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences to Mr. Peter Straub. The Graduate School of Arts and Sciences holds in highest regard expressed artistic form capable of traversing intellectual and cultural boundaries. Today we honor you, Peter F. Straub, an alumnus of the graduate school whose considerable work has an uncanny ability to capture a reader's imagination. A native of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, you came to Columbia to study English literature, and in 1966 you earned a Master's of Arts degree in the Department of English and Comparative Literature. Since then, you have become an international award-winning author whose books have been translated into more than 20 languages. A prolific writer, your work includes a wide variety of literary forms. Your versatility as a writer is reflected in the publication of an astonishing number of novels, novellas, poetry collections, and short story collections. In 1979, you received both high critical acclaim and commercial success with the publication of your 5th novel, Ghost Story. Rooting itself in the public imagination, Ghost Story became one of a number of your novels adapted for the screen. An 8-time Bram Stoker Award winner, your novels are recognized as representative of some of the finest examples of the evolving horror genre. You're known for your skillful introduction of postmodern literary elements into horror writing. You continue to be one of America's leading figures in Gothic literature. You're also a gifted editor with singular expertise in assembling the best horror fiction. Your exceptional skill was recognized by the Library of America. In 2005, you published the prestigious anthology H.P. Lovecraft, Tales. In the groundbreaking anthology American Fantastic Tales, Terror and the Uncanny from 1940 to now, you explore both classic themes and contemporary expressions of an ever-changing articulation of our deepest fears. In recognition of your exceptional career and for being a model of what a Columbia graduate student can accomplish, the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences is delighted to present you, Peter F. Straub, with the Dean's Award for Distinguished Achievement.
Beautiful. Thank you very much.
Now, I would like to present the Dean's Award for Distinguished Achievement to a PhD alumnus of the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences, to Dr. John Matson. The Graduate School of Arts and Sciences holds in highest regard intellectual pursuit of literary and cultural understanding. Today, we honor you, John T. Matson, an alumnus of the graduate school whose skill has crafted a body of work that educates and enriches our lives through eloquent prose and rigorous scholarship. A native of San Mateo, California, you came to Columbia to study literature after receiving your law degree from Harvard University in 1986 and working as a litigator in California and North Carolina. At Columbia, you received the MA in 1992, the MPhil in 1995, and the PhD in 1999 in the Department of English and Comparative Literature. Over the course of your career, you have made significant contributions to our understanding of the works of prominent 19th century authors. Your unique ability to explore cultural relationships with skill, sensitivity, and scholarly acumen gives the reader access to new and exciting interpretations of classic literature. In recognition of your ability to reinvigorate the form, the Pulitzer Prize Board awarded you the 2008 Pulitzer Prize in Biography for Eden's Outcast, the story of Louisa May Alcott and her father. You continue to make recognized contributions as a writer, documentary film contributor, and prominent faculty member. Your forthcoming biography, The Lives of Margaret Fuller, a biography, and your ongoing essays to the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, Architectural Record, and Harvard Theological Review exemplify your commitment to scholarly literary exploration. Your contribution to the 2009 award-winning PBS documentary, Louisa May Alcott, The Woman Behind Little Women, demonstrates your desire to support new and innovative forms for creating intimate portraits of important literary icons. As a professor of English at John Jay College of Criminal Justice, you combine legal training and literary prowess to great effect. Former students honored you with the 2011 Distinguished Faculty Award as a testimony of the powerful impact you had on their academic experience. In recognition of your exceptional career and for being a model of what a Columbia graduate student can accomplish, the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences is delighted to present you, John T. Matson, with the Dean's Award for Distinguished Achievement. And we now arrive at the central point of the ceremony, the presentation of the doctoral and master's candidates. We ask you to come forth as we call your name in recognition of your individual accomplishments. Professor Andrea Tucker of the PhD program in Communications and Michael Como of the Department of Religion will read the names of the PhD candidates. Dean Darius Birch will read the names of the MA candidates as they approach the podium.
Anthropology, Zainab Saleh. Morgan von Prele Pacelli. Nadia Jesus. TC Applied Anthropology, Alice Elizabeth Baldwin Jones. Applied Physics and Applied Mathematics, Nicholas Hoyle. Wenjia Jing. Charlton James Chen. Yikang Deng. APM Material Science and Engineering, Zhang Jia. Robert Victor Caldwell. Avishai Ofan. Applied Physics, Benoit Durand de Javigny. Paul Wesley Brenner. Yuri M. Zuev. Sean M. Polvino. Xavier Sarasola Martin. Applied Mathematics, Kirk Nobelspies. Architecture, Hyun Tae. Jennifer Louise Gray. Elsa Hao Lin Lam. Art History and Archaeology, Christina Rosanna Ferrando. Andrea Sharon Renner. Astronomy, Stephanie Corinne Tonneson. Neil T. Zimmerman. Sarah Elizabeth Tuttle. Biochemistry and Molecular Biophysics, Mark N. Collins. Daniel Radoff. Biological Sciences, Reka Rebecca Letso. G. Lee. John Ernest Kratz III. Christina Marie Priest. Anthony Michael Barsotti. Andras Bauer. Sean Zhang. Chi Wang. Daita Sergi. Mariana Dorrington Quinones. Biomedical Engineering, Yue Zhang. Curtis David Chin. Brian Michael Gillette. Melissa Jan Simon. Elizabeth Spencer Oswald. Yuki Chung. Biomedical Informatics, Yalini Senataraja. Lisha Yao. Sean Zhou. Daniel Mark Stein. Thielman Trevor Van Vleck. Business, Zhao Zhao Zhang. Jeffrey R. Parker. Ram Yosef Schrift. Naim Bura Ozel. Vyacheslav Foss. Yoko Kathleen Iwaki. Cellular, Molecular, and Biophysical Studies, Kimberly Noel Scobie. Cell Biology, Thomas Gregory Lipkin. Earth and Environmental Sciences, Xiaorui Guan. Chemical Engineering, John Wei Liu. Cellular, Molecular, and Biophysical Studies, Heather Marie McKellar. Joseph Dufresne. Roshni Basu. Bell Chang. Chuquen Ronald Ho. Ronald Guy Tepper. Roland E. Stefandel. Chemical Engineering, James Jing Kwan. Elliot Thomas Campbell. Cherry Chen Chen. Chunmei Chu. Chemistry, Huanyu Zhao. Young S. Park. Joshua Lewis Avens. Jacqueline Irene Catalano. Ferenc Contes. Brendan Douglas Kelly. Rockford Winthrop Kosha. Civil Engineering and Engineering Mechanics, Melissa Katharina DeMarco. Virginia Mosquera. Jay Shu. Kyu Hak Kyung. Jay Yin. Mehdi Tavakolan. Computer Science, Arzu Mogadam. Rafael Albert Pelosov. Corey Michael Joshua Goldfader. Classics, Jason Michael Gaderowitz. Communications, Joe Hale Cutworth. Communications, Pablo Calvi. Sophie Guite. Elizabeth. Computer Science, Charles Su Han. Stephen J. Henderson. Ellie Brosh. Oren Ladan. Chi Zhang. Salman Abdul Basit. Melinda Ya Adgikum. Rebecca Lynn Collins. Fadi Biadzi. Brian Bowen. Mansour Ali Khan Alicheri. Ilias Diakonikolis. Earth and Environmental Engineering, Xin Li. Earth and Environmental Sciences, Amy Michelle Balanoff. Jennifer Lee Aminzadi. Jennifer Amy Arbacheski. Danielle Francis Sumi. Tiansha Jia. East Asian Languages and Cultures, Manchu. Ecology, Evolution, and Environmental Biology, Mary Elizabeth Blair. Michelle Brown. Leo Ricardo Douglas. East Asian Languages and Cultures, Huisang Cho. Economics, Chinhan Chang. David Lopez Rodriguez. Arunima Sinha. Alice Murray Henriquez. David Michael Grad, Jae-bin An, Electrical Engineering, Inanch Merrick, Maria Kurchuk, Ailey Tajer, John Watkinson, Hoon Kim, Caroline Phuiman Lai, Christine Elizabeth Smith, Na Lei, English and Comparative Literature, Elisa Myers, Ruth Lexton, Patricia Lespinas, Patricia Owamari Akimi, Electrical Engineering, Pachirini Tientakun, Alexander Bieberman, English and Comparative Literature, Jennifer Buckley, Paul Michael McNeil, Nicole Ariana Siri, Sailaja Sostri, Bina Suzanne Gogineni. Epidemiology, Catherine Margaret Wild. Catherine Alexander Ornstein. Heidi E. Jones. And Jamie Ann Ruffing. Natalie Danielle Crawford. Maria Argos. Matthew Raymond Lamb. Yael Hirschmore Moverman. Barun Mathema. French and Romance Philology, Sarah Louise Rayard. Toby Eric Wikstrom. Genetics and Development, Ha Young Lee. Andrew David Goldsmith. History, Benjamin Allen Coates. Nathan Raoul Pearl Rosenthal. History. Megan Joy Wolfe. Julie Annette Golia. April E. Holm. Rachel Tamar Van. Nicole R. Hemmer. Valerie Ritter Paley. Kelly Cherie Carter Jackson. Karine Felicia Williams. Robert Mark Savage.
Patrizio Ceccagnoli. Italian, Suzanne Christine Nettle. Germanic languages, Alyssa Emily Masor. History, Edward A. Renaud III. Mathematics, Michael Renee Kent. Latin American and Iberian cultures, Marissa Lynn Ambio. Mathematics, Allison Leigh Gilmore. Min Lee. Chunyan Wu. Qing Lu. Lindsay Carter Peachnik. Joelle Brichard. Mechanical Engineering, Celine Arslan. Sabah Gassemi. Middle East, South Asian, and African Studies, Kaveh Farzad Niazi. Sualin Nalbantian. Andrea Leigh Siegel. Neurology and Biology, Alessia Panese. Kelly Elizabeth Rimol. Sarah Elizabeth Caneta. Grace Y. Lai. Elizabeth Claire Leininger. Annegret Lee Faulkner. Benjamin John Matthews. Music, Edgardo Raul Salinas. Justin Hoffman. Tyler Bickford. Daniel Bennett Chiarilli. Nursing, Barbara M. Sheehan. Sharon Meredith Close. Sun Moo Yun. Maureen A. Daly. Roberta Salveson. Nutritional and Metabolic Biology, Jiaoling Guo. Russell Erickson. Shutima Talchai. Jill Johanna Williams. Pathobiology and Molecular Medicine, David A.S. McLeod. Hee-Jun Park. Song-Hyun Wu. Magda Stumpfova. Pharmacology and Molecular Signaling, Lauren Michelle Tanabe. Pathology and Molecular Medicine, Roger Lefort. Physics, Xin Wang. Matthew Benson Lightman. Tatya Christina Engelmore. Mark Stephen Cook. Ziling Guo. Political Science, Cyrus Darasamy. Jason Paul Kelly. Guy Grossman. Amy L. Widston. Walter Andrew Zarkaij. Political Science, Fatima Speiti Kassem. Psychology, Alexandra Christine Supes. Psychology, Lauren Janine Aguilar. Catherine Megan Noitial. Matthew Gesner Kirkpatrick. Steen Cameron Seinert. Kavita Reddy. Sylvia Del Carmen Rodriguez. David Justin Hardesty. Religion, Jared Cannon Calloway. David Roy Kite. Mimi Hanaoka. James Patrick Hare. Slavic languages, Bella Gregorian. Erica Ann Siegel. Nina Lee Bond. Sociology, Dennis Boguj. Ernesto Castañeda. Statistics, Amal Musa. Johannes Carl Dominic Ruff. Tyler Harris McCormick. Xiaoru Wu. Jiahui Huang. TC, Philosophy and Education, Winston C. Thompson. TC, Economics and Education, Sungwoo Cho. TC, Sociology and Education, Michelle Van Noy. TC, Anthropology and Education, Akiko Murata. Radhika Iyengar. Yu Zhang. TC, Social Organizational Psychology, Robert B. Morris II. TC, Economics and Education, Cecilia Speroni. TC, English Education, Naoko Akai. TC, Applied Behavioral Analysis, Joan Broto. TC, Counseling Psychology, Angela Bosun Kim. TC, Philosophy and Education, Patricia A. Carey. Social Work, Kimberly Devon Westcott. TC, Politics and Education, Daquan Park. TC, Cognitive Studies in Education, Mingtan Pierre Lu. Sustainable Development, Ram Fishman. Urban Planning, Constantine E. Contocosta.
Receiving the degree Master of Arts in African American Studies, William Paul Burke. Erica Marie Walker. Ashley Jolie Laura Finnegan. Gregory Delano Zimdahl. Master of Arts in Anthropology, Andrew Melcher Knight. Maria Teresa Cabo. Elisa Maria Lopez. Marilia Sabalier Lugo. Danielle Rosen. Jillian Bruce Stumpf. Mary Shea Cochran. Rosario Maria Connolly. Jessica Michelle Clifton. Jane Elizabeth Braun, receiving the degree Art History and Archaeology. Xin Wong. Master of Arts in Modern Art, Critical and Curatorial Studies, Michelle Christine Johnson. Emily Shaw. Tracy Zwick. William Aubrey Helfrecht. Caroline Ann Luce. Geneva Amelia Jan Lewis. Donald Richard Johnson III. Jennifer Ann Borland. Catherine Aid Crone. Drew Elizabeth Busilla. Alexander Edward Benenson. Rebecca Ann Siegel. Marley Blue Lewis. Kristen Michelle Chapa. Tomoku Kanamitsu. Receiving the degree Master of Arts in Astronomy, Alexander James Smith. Receiving the degree Master of Arts in Biological Sciences, Nikolaos Stefanikis. Receiving the degree Master of Arts in Biotechnology, Karolina Sofia Rafalski. Nina Elizabeth Mecca. Bhavna Gupta. Eliana Grosser. Antonio Alvarez Pinto. Joel Vega. Receiving the degree Master of Arts in Biomedical Informatics, Olena Mamikina. Receiving the degree Master of Arts in Biotechnology, Jonathan David Mara. Andrea Marie Weymouth. Scott Allen Kira. Carl Yuan. Catherine Margaret LaRue. Yasmin A. Hani. Laura Cristina Castro Palacios. Sadiq Zahari. Kayla Nicole Joseph. Eileen Wee. Receiving the degree Master of Arts in Classical Studies, Alyssa Arlene Connolly. Alexandra Generis. Reed Charles Goodman. Joseph Michael Vittoria. Christopher Cale Blexrud. Receiving the degree Master of Arts in Climate and Society, Svetla Maranova. Carlos Reyes de Young. Mugzi Indemir. Kelsey McEachran. Jessica Schreiber. Yufang Zhu. Kibram Tadesi. Gavin Wu. Arundam Bhattacharjee. Nicole Cresimano. Frank Erickson. Megan Fleming. Jennifer Santa Inez. Soyi Chu. Joyce Chen. Alexis Nikolakopoulos. Abimbola Omiyala. Kimberly Peng. Diego Villarreal. Aaron Coughlin. Vansa Chatikanavic. Caitlin Butler. Joshua Brown. Catherine Jensen. Andrew Shen. Yevgeny Viderman. Alexander Malcolm White. Sean Jensen. Josef Kinfe. Angelica Pascalini. Receiving the degree Master of Arts in Conservation Biology, Nolan Nicholas Bett. Derek William Betts. Kaylin Erica Bickerman. Katie Jean Conrad. Peter David Frederick Isles. Sarah Christina Keene. Elizabeth Brooke Kelly. Anastasia Krynick. Mia Tess Marek. Case Mahone Prager. Jessica Alex Shearer. Melanie Carla Smith. Priya Alicia Srinivas. Elizabeth Porter Tupper. Lisa Joan Van Tegum. Receiving the degree Master of Arts in East Asia Regional Studies, Damon Duell McMahon. Fu Shin Sung. Sung Un Kim. Kai Seong Koo. Lindsay Rochelle Bennett. Catherine Elizabeth Lee. Chiaki Muramoto. Jing Wang. Solha Bang. Yuran Lee. Ling Chan Kong. Receiving the degree Master of Arts in East Asian Languages and Cultures, David Jeffrey Wiley. Yuen Shun. Catherine Laura Robinson. Christina Suzanne Stoltz. Chao Ling. Jenny Yining Shen. Michael James Monhart. Lucas Michael Weiss. Daniel Allen Barish. Ashton Leet Briganti. Cynthia Margaret Rowe. Receiving the degree Master of Arts in Economics, Kyle Edward Jurado. Nyahobi Denise Gonzalez. Ferran Elias Moreno. Pablo Otonello. Master of Arts in English and Comparative Literature, Tricia M. Philip Rao. Allison Kathleen Lal. Jordan Kevin Jeffrey. Arden Alexandra Hageley. James Alexander Hunt. Catherine T. Clark. Shauna Danielle Leibowitz. Jennifer Ellen Breyer. Rachel Allison Pringle. Lisa Colleen Moore. Graham Alexander Sack. Receiving the degree Master of Arts in French Cultural Studies in a Global Context, Gina Marie Anderson. Robert M. Brutz. Master of Arts in French and Romance Philology, Claire Leidenbach. Georgette Mitchell. Johann Reipert. Master of Arts in History, Marie Bayard Tracy. Master of Arts in Human Rights Studies, Yuri Catherine Vela. Christopher Stephen Guerra. Marla Elizabeth Lopez. Molly Bailey Granatino Gill. Ronnie L. Rachmin. Carolyn Claith Erickson. Anne Urquhart Wright. Inbal Ashed. Alessia Julia Petricone Westwood. Nicole Louise Phillips. Amina Ayad. Faith Colleen Lemon. Master of Arts in Japanese Pedagogy, Naomi Tanaka McPherson. Ryoko Ohata. Suyu Kuo. Yaeko Kabe. Chieko Yamazaki. Allison Mariella Desir. Receiving the degree Master of Arts in Latin America and Caribbean Regional Studies, Lauren Christa von Eckartsburg. Kelsey Bess Weinstein. Kayla Michael McPherson. Marcel Anduiza. Receiving the degree Master of Arts in Liberal Studies, American Studies, Megan Michelle German. David Madelon. David Adam Jackson. Allison Pritzker Schwartz. Robert K. Matthews. Mary Logan Barmeyer. Zachary Daniel Mandich Protas. Corey Gary French. Marielle Stephanie Kessel. Charles Dare Shapes, Jr. Marie Ida. Anthony Jason Schiappa. Receiving the degree Master of Arts, Liberal Studies and East Asian Studies, Brendan Rockpongpiro. Christian William Clayton. Jerry M. Bakhtat. Receiving the degree Master of Arts, Liberal Studies and Jewish Studies, Inbal Zarif. Receiving the degree Master of Arts, Liberal Studies and Medieval Studies, Margaret Rebecca Black. Receiving the degree Master of Arts, Liberal Studies and Modern European Studies, Veronica Ann Mayer. Evan Scott Saperstein. Marguerite Jane Hillary Van Cook. Receiving the degree Master of Arts in Liberal Studies, South Asian Studies, Harmeet Kaur. Priya Narayanan. Mary Vanawi. Receiving a degree Master of Arts in Liberal Studies, Islamic Studies, Dogi Ashkenat. Receiving the degree Master of Arts in Mathematics of Finance, Nazmi Tarhan. Nazmi Tarhan. Dmitry Belayev. Kimberly Piccolo. Natalia Shodkovsky. Arka Sengupta. David Emmanuel Abergel. James Kim. Lisa Kasser. Jopi Wondemu. Zuhair Bensouda. Yasha Claude Levy. Philippe Terrier. Vikas Nigam. Akhil Francois Justine Moutard. Ari Cohen. Kaushal Agrawal. Anand Soni. Alibek Aldangarov. Edward Adrian Bejarano. Godu Bandari. Ankit Tanwar. Shriyash Priyank. Viren Khatri. Tashi Lobsang. Wanju Sul. Archit Kandalwal. Ankit Tushar Bhutta. Pavel Gorduladze. Yin Yao Dai. Rodrigo Santibanez. Manuel Angel Onetu Suberbi. Thibaut Chara. Shane O'Neill. Stephanie Wyman Chan. Hong Ma. Zhao Wang. Ting Hin Siu. Chi Yen. Kevin Guillemot. Jethro Goldsmith. Giacomo Puri Purini. Jinsung An. Han Sheng Pao. Masafumi Kimura. Yuan Hao Shu. Christoph Fritz Gakstatter. Hideaki Yamamoto. Alberto Botter. Jacopo Thomas Capra. Yi Chen Zhang. Shi Pu. Yiwei Yu. Ji Shi. Chao Dai. Nikita Sunil Ramchandani. Emily Kim Chatelain. Receiving the degree Master of Arts in Middle Eastern, South Asian, and African Studies, Ashley Elizabeth McCannon. Nabila Pirani. Diala Haydar. Oren Steve Adaki. Aleh Juma Milbes. Rawan Hadid. Receiving the degree Master of Arts in Music, Nicholas Junkai Chong. Receiving the degree Master of Arts in Museum Anthropology, Gekpue Tao. Catherine Julia Reutershawn. Receiving the degree Master of Arts in Neurology and Behavior, Eliezer S. Stavsky. Receiving the degree Master of Arts in Nutritional and Metabolic Biology, Hei Rim Kang. Receiving the degree Master of Arts in Oral History, Allison Charlene Schillingford. Liza Zapo. Rebecca Lynn Cross. Receiving the degree Master of Arts in Philosophy, Sung Hee Young. Master of Arts in Philosophical Foundations of Physics, Max Hin Young Wong. Master of Arts in Political Science, Zhuming Yao. Man Yan Eng. Claudia Briand Langer. Pei Hua Lim. Chayamon Simhaseni. Stacy Ashley Eliuk. Sakura Ung. Amanda M. Melillo. Megan May Dignum. Mitra Ziainia. Receiving the degree Master of Arts in Psychology, Elena Kanalopoulou. Receiving the degree Master of Arts in Quantitative Methods in the Social Sciences, Nadia Danielle Richardson. Judy Kim. Receiving a degree Master of Arts in Political Science, Ubena JB. Receiving the degree Master of Arts in Quantitative Methods in the Social Sciences, Hei Suk Wong. Sandra Roots. Lucia Bazuki. Ajoma Genevieve Pamalo. Polina Borisova. Juan Ricard Huguet. Nathaniel J. Lane. George Coyle. Harry Albertson Finney. Jeffrey C. Chun. Jessica Boots Lerman. Clarissa Isabel Cortland. Dalia Yadigur. Evan Matthew Kohler. Kelly Ann Murdoch. Adrian Julia Ross. Julie Sue. Jia Duan. Tian Deng. Yifei Huang. Andrew Saul Rabinowitz. Receiving the degree Master of Arts in Religion, Christine Patricia Hassel. Sarah John Joseph Guevara. Jennifer Yuna Hu. Receiving the degree Master of Arts in Russia, Eurasia, and Eastern Europe, Regional Studies, Megan Elise Ausen. Alexander Wang. Natalia Mikhail Rovenskaya. Leah G. Mikhailova. Tyler Calloway. Yoka Domian Wills. Denis Maximovich Batalov. Receiving the degree Master of Arts in Slavic Cultures, Marie Molgard Laustsen. Receiving the degree Master of Arts in Sociology, Lauren Janelle Dean. Ashlyn Nicole Ramos. Preeti Narayan. Xiaodong Zheng. Magdalena Hilureta. Melissa Valle. James Jones. Nicholas Jobet. Sarah Shoshana Bostomsky. Valentina Paz Abufela Milad. Receiving the degree Master of Arts in Statistics, Roy Allen Willis. Adam Martin Agata. Katie Lamar Shoemaker. Christopher James Fortinos. Rutika Joshi. Burju Basaran. Ramin Medizadeh. Brian Matthew Bader. Sergei Rozov. Rakesh Menon Ravindran. Matthew K. Williams. Peiyan Young. Tai-Hee Suh. Wei John. Yu Chun. Jing Shang. Nora Link Granville. James Donato. Si Huang. Kai-Ting Zhou. Yu-Ching Chu. Si Chun. Kyung-Suk Woo. Shunji Ma, Dongwan Li, Mao Fan, Young Un Park, Kyung Kook Choi, Yun Kai Yang, Zichi Gao, Fan Lin, Lu Fei Shu, Zizhen Liu, Chaoyan Zhang, Shui Shao, Xiaoxin Yan, Yufei Luang, Chun Chen Yang, Wei Di Tsang, Jai In Cho, Liu Liu, Jing Feng, Xinghua Luo, Hui Han, Haoli Zheng, Wang Le, Shi Lin, Bo Wen, Meng Li, Jing Wang, Roderick Keith Friend, Wei Hu, Fan Zhan, Jia Liu, Ying Ye Chen, Chen Wang, Xiao Miao Tang, Jin Jing Zhu,
Please be seated. On Wednesday following commencement, the candidates are invited to 301 Philosophy to receive their diploma and to be welcomed into Columbia's Alumni Association. Please remember to visit 301 Philosophy on Wednesday immediately after the end of commencement. We're engaged today in one of the most solemn rituals of academic life, in a grand setting, surrounded by those dearest to us. Yet I would encourage you to examine it for the ritual that it is, with its trappings, costumes, and the silly hats. Some of you may ask rightfully whether there are times and instances in which it would be best to suspend critical scrutiny and bask unabashedly in the joy of the moment. Life is continually presenting us with such moments of unadulterated bliss, or sorrow for that matter, finding love, the birth of a child, the death of a dear relative or friend, and it behooves us to give ourselves totally to them if we're going to have a claim to being fully alive. But this is precisely the solace and the consolation that you have given up in the long apprenticeship that has taken you to this afternoon. Because regardless of the discipline in which you will receive your degree this coming Wednesday, what you have learned is not merely a way of asking questions about particular objects, but the very discipline of asking questions itself. You should be proud of and faithful to what you have learned here, but the discipline of asking questions requires that you not be so proud and so faithful that you be unable to critique the very education that you have acquired in this institution. In order to be continually open to the new, you must be able to take your distance from the presumed necessity of what you have learned, to challenge the very things that define you as belonging to your academic origins, to entertain at every turn the possibility of self-imposed exile from your disciplinary home. It will be at such moments that you will renew the legitimacy of the degree that you're about to receive and the trust that this institution has deposited in you by granting it. At such moments, it will be worth remembering that you were not conferred the degree just because you could ask certain questions, but so you would ask questions critically, doggedly, and unsparingly, even if, perhaps especially if, the one not spared is yourself. In fact, the kind of openness to the new that I propose and the vigilance required for it to maintain itself in your scholarly life is learned every single day in the negotiation of all the experiences with which life will present you, all the daily moments in which your capacity to confront change or to become the agent of change will be challenged not just by what is new and unforeseen, but even more forcefully and dangerously by what is customary and what is expected of you. Today, surrounded by the community of your graduate colleagues, faculty mentors, and family members, and despite the toil and sacrifices of your graduate years, you begin what in reality will be your most solitary and arduous assignment yet, keeping your intellectual life aflame on your own, and allowing it to consume everything, even your most cherished ideals and beliefs. This is the thorny rose, the sweet burning without surcease that your graduate education at Columbia has given you as a gift, and one that you will have to nurture rigorously and lovingly by yourself henceforth. The writer Julio Cortázar described once what happens when you're given a watch on a joyous occasion with words that seem appropriate to this moment. He wrote, "Think of this. When they present you with a watch for your birthday, they're gifting you with a tiny flowering hell, a wreath of roses, a dungeon of air. They aren't simply wishing you many more birthdays, and we hope it will last you. It's a good brand, Swiss, 17 jewels. They aren't just giving you this minute stone cutter that will bind you by the wrist and walk along with you. They're gifting you, they don't know it, it's terrible that they don't know it. They're gifting you with a new, fragile, and precarious piece of yourself, something that's yours but not a part of your body, that you have to strap to your body like your belt, like a tiny, furious bit of something hanging onto your wrist. They gift you with the job of having to wind it every day, the obligation to wind it so that it goes on being a watch. They gift you with the obsession of looking into jewelry shop windows and paying attention to the radio announcer to check the exact time. They give you the gift of fear, that someone will steal it from you, that it will fall on the street and break. They give you the gift of the watch's brand and the assurance that it's a brand better than the others. They gift you with the impulse to compare your watch with other watches. They aren't giving you a watch, you are the gift. They're giving you to the watch for its birthday. We at the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences know that you will take meticulous care of this demanding and thorny gift. Go forth, prosper, and prevail. Make us and your relatives and friends prouder still about you than we are today. We are certain that you will. Will the candidates all stand so we can give them a final round of applause, please? Please join us at a reception immediately following this ceremony on Hamilton Lawn under the tent. I ask, please, friends and families, to wait until after the faculty and the candidates have walked to the Hamilton tent before exiting to your right at the exit closest to me to Hamilton Lawn for the reception.